These days, it's cool to call yourself an entrepreneur. But the real entrepreneurs strive for continuous improvement, innovation, and willing to take risks of detrimental proportions. Join me as we meet the people that are making this happen. One by one, they're sharing the story of their journey as an American entrepreneur. In this episode of An American Entrepreneur, we're going to revisit 4 individuals that previously came on this channel. And the advice they share is pretty much going to focus on 2 areas. The first area is you don't have to have a whole lot of capital to start a business. You don't have to have everything in place just right and perfectly aligned before you launch. And second, so many people don't have any idea what kind of business they want to start. So come listen to what they have to share. I think you'll find it really inspiring. The first entrepreneur we're going to revisit is Chris Thomas. He's the founder and owner of Rise High Mobile Auto Repair here in Dallas, Texas.
Let me talk about when I first started, actually first started. I didn't have all the money I needed to get everything that I needed in place. So I actually just started working, and I began to take the money that I would make and put it back into my business. I'm probably one out of maybe 10 mechanics. I'm talking about I don't have to go to the parts store for any specialty tools.
As a practicing CPA here in Dallas, Texas, I see this all the time. People start businesses when they don't have every single thing they really need to really launch in a big way. You just got to start somewhere. All right, so our next entrepreneur, Hayden Harrison. He's an 18-year-old here in Dallas, Texas, that started a bicycle repair business in the garage of his family's home. Check out what Hayden has to say.
I have to file it as a legitimate business now, and from there I was like, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it right. And so that's when I started buying all the tools slowly, and it's morphed from 4 or 5 tools and a cheap little stand to a professional stand and all this giant wall of tools. So
when you first got started, I know you mentioned when you were showing us your tools, you didn't have a lot of tools. About what was your initial investment, or what did you have when you first got started, dollar-wise, if you could estimate, and tools versus what you have now?
So I think to begin with, I had a pair of Torx T-handles and a set of Allen T-handles and a couple pliers that were in my toolbox. Like I said, I've always been handy and I've always had some tools, but bike-specific tools, I probably spent maybe $50 on tools to begin with. Right now, given a rough estimate, I'd probably say I have a little over $2,000 or $3,000 in tools. That's including I consider the stand or the wheel truing stand behind me. That's a tool.
What advice would you share with anyone that was thinking about starting a bike business? What kind of advice that would be helpful to them?
I don't think you really need that much to start nowadays, as long as you have someone in-house that you can that's very knowledgeable. The biggest challenge for me was finding a mentor in the bike community that could help me, and I've found a couple people now. But someone that you can ask the hard questions to, or someone that's been in the industry for years, is the biggest help. So someone you can turn to if things get hard. But yeah.
So as you can see, you don't have to have every single tool that you would need to start a business. Sure, you'll need those basic tools, but you don't have to wait till you have everything. So our next entrepreneur is Ann. He started a car wrapping business called Absolute Wraps in Mansfield, Texas. He did not have any experience wrapping cars. He learned on his own at home, and then he launched his business. And secondly, he doesn't know really hardly anything about business, but he started that business anyway, and he's going to do fine. Sometimes the best way to learn is jump right in there and do it. So check out what Ann shares with us.
That's how I see it as.
What's the biggest challenge in having a business like this, wrapping vehicles?
The biggest challenge that I'm facing now,
Or 2 or 3 challenges?
yeah, well, one of the main challenge that I have right now is just I'm so young and I don't know much about business in general, and trying to learn as I go. So just basically running a business is the biggest challenge right now, because when it comes to labor wise, it's not bad. I know how to wrap, you know, so the labor side is taken care of, but it's more towards building a structure and keeping that structure alive, because a lot of business, they tend to fail in a few years, and that's not where I'm trying to be at.
I have no doubt Ann is going to be very successful. One reason is he knows where his weakness is and he's working on it, but he's not letting that hold him back. And if you don't know hardly anything about business, I can't recommend more than to go out and find someone that can mentor you. There are plenty of people out there that would love the opportunity to share their knowledge with people to help them. Our next entrepreneur, Steve Hall, is the co-founder of Sergeant Pooper's Pet Waste Removal in Dallas, Texas. The main point Steve Hall made, I believe, is the fact that so many people do follow their passion. And for so many people, that works out well. So many people really don't have a passion really for anything. So that hinders them from starting a business. Well, if you're one of those people, give a listen to what Steve Hall has to say.
You know, they always say when you follow, you know, what you need to do is follow opportunity, not follow your passion. Because your passion's just random, you know.
Right.
It's opportunity that you need to look for. Follow opportunity, and then your passion will follow. And that's kind of what happened. And we started on that road, and all kinds of things then changed and fell into place, and it turned out to be just a fantastic company that people just love. Our employees love it, our customers love it, you know. And our basic formula is to do a perfect job for a great price. And that people are very happy with that.
So what business advice would you give someone that wanted to start a business of any kind?
I would say, you know, the first step is to, you have to know what principles are you operating on, first of all. There's a lot of chatter and a lot of advice in schools about follow your passion, you know. To me, that is completely disingenuous, because it's not your passion that's going to lead you in most cases to a rewarding career. It's going to be opportunity is what you need to look for.
Hopefully an opportunity, though, that you at least enjoy, of course, something you can't hate doing.
Well, yeah, but you know, you'd be surprised.
There's a balance.
There's a balance, but I you know, who wants to clean, you know, pick up dog waste? That to me did not seem at all like something I wanted to do. I didn't do it for 9 years, right? And you know, I even had a status issue myself, you know, like, well, I don't want to be a person that does that. But you know, I realized after I went full time that, you know what, you have to decide who you are. You have to decide what kind of person you are, what kind of person you want to be. And once you've decided, because that's what makes you who you are, is your own decision about who you are. Are you a quality person? Are you a good person? Are you a person that brings help and aid to others? If that's the kind of person you are, what you do, it doesn't affect that. And once you get those straightened out, you realize, you know, you could do anything and still be a gracious, loving, kind person. And that's where we're at.
I love this advice Steve gave, because so often, like I said, people don't start a business because they think you've got to be passionate about something. But look around, there's so many opportunities out there. And so many of these opportunities don't require a huge capital investment. Just you got to have some savvy, some ambition and inspiration, and make it happen. I hope this video added value and inspired you. I'm Curtis Mulberg. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.